Welcome to Night Cosmos. Tonight we invite you on a journey through one of the most fascinating ideas in modern philosophy and science, the simulation hypothesis. But before we begin, take a moment to subscribe and join our growing constellation of cosmic dreamers. Now close your eyes, relax, and imagine the universe around you, the stars above, the planets spinning silently in the darkness. The laws of physics that govern everything we know. What if all of that, every single thing you perceive, is nothing more than an elaborate illusion? What if we're not living in a physical reality at all, but inside a hyper-advanced simulation created by beings far more intelligent than ourselves? This idea, as strange as it may sound, has captured the imagination of scientists, philosophers, and dreamers alike. Let's dive into the depths of this possibility, not to find fear, but curiosity, not to search for answers, but to wonder. Could it be that everything you know is code? The idea that we may be living in a simulation didn't begin with modern computers or science fiction. It actually has deep roots in ancient philosophy. Thousands of years ago, Plato spoke of the allegory of the cave, where people mistake shadows for reality, unaware of the true world beyond their perception. Centuries later, philosopher René Descartes questioned everything around him, wondering if an evil demon was deceiving him into believing in a false reality. These early thinkers couldn't imagine computers, but they felt something deep, an intuition that reality might not be as real as it seems. Fast forward to the 21st century, and this ancient suspicion has taken on new life through technology. Now we have virtual worlds so detailed that they blur the line between real and unreal. Video games with endless landscapes, artificial intelligence that learns, adapts, and mimic. Could it be that our reality is just a much higher version of something we ourselves are beginning to create? Many scientists and thinkers have weighed in on Bostrom's hypothesis. Some support it as a valid philosophical and probabilistic idea. Others argue that it's unfalsifiable, meaning we can't test it or prove it one way or another. But the real intrigue lies in how we've already begun simulating worlds ourselves. Every year, our technology becomes more powerful. We create virtual environments with realistic physics, weather systems, and artificial minds that grow more intelligent with each passing day. If this is where we are now, imagine what a civilization 1,000 years more advanced could create. Simulations indistinguishable from reality. Beings with emotions, curiosity, and dreams, just like us. What separates us from those simulated minds if they one day become self-aware? This is the mirror the simulation hypothesis holds up to us, not just asking what's real, but what we're capable of becoming. Now let's imagine for a moment that we are indeed inside a simulation. What would that mean for the universe we observe? One possibility is that the physical laws we take for granted, gravity, time, light, are simply part of the simulation's programming. They're consistent, predictable, and structured not because of nature, but because they were designed that way. In this view, the speed of light might not be a cosmic limit, but a system constraint. Quantum mechanics, the strange, unpredictable world of particles, could be signs of computational limits, or shortcuts in the simulation's code, glitches, if you will. Some physicists have even suggested that if we find pixel-like structures in space-time, it could be evidence of a digital foundation to the cosmos. Of course, these are speculations, but in this theory, the very fabric of the universe becomes more than matter. It becomes information. One of the most intriguing aspects of the simulation hypothesis is how it changes our perspective on reality. If the universe is a simulation, then everything we perceive, space, time, energy, is secondary to the underlying code that runs it all. In a way, the physical becomes virtual, and the virtual becomes fundamental. Some scientists have started searching for clues within physics itself. They look for anomalies in cosmic background radiation, strange patterns in quantum behavior, or potential limits to the resolution of space-time. Could these be signs of a constructed system? Imagine looking at the stars and wondering not what formed them, but who programmed them. Perhaps black holes are not only cosmic mysteries, but data storage systems. Perhaps dark matter is the scaffolding of the simulation, holding everything in place behind the curtain. These ideas stretch the imagination, but that's what makes them so compelling. They invite us to think beyond boundaries. Of course, not everyone agrees with the simulation hypothesis. Some scientists argue that it's interesting but ultimately untestable. Without a way to observe the outside world beyond the simulation, we may never know if it's true. Still, others point to philosophical implications. If our experiences feel real, does it matter whether they are simulated? Pain still hurts, joy still uplifts, relationships still move us. For many, reality is defined not by what it is made of, but by how we live within it. And that brings us to a deeper question: what is consciousness? If a simulation can produce beings that feel, think, and dream, what does that say about the soul? Are we lines of code with personalities, or something more? These are questions that don't just stretch the boundaries of science, they touch on the very core of what it means to be human. Interestingly, even some of the world's leading tech minds have expressed belief in the simulation hypothesis. Elon Musk famously said that there's a 1 in billions chance we're living in base reality. To him, the rapid pace of technology, especially the evolution of video games and AI, is strong evidence that simulations could soon be indistinguishable from life. Others in Silicon Valley have reportedly funded secret research to find ways to break out of the simulation, or at least detect it. While this sounds like science fiction, it shows how seriously some take the idea, but there's no need to fear it. In fact, the hypothesis doesn't change the value of life, it deepens it. If we're part of a simulation, then perhaps someone or something cared enough to craft this world in all its beauty and complexity. That thought in itself can be strangely comforting. We are, in a way, art. Let's take a moment to reflect on what simulation might mean for the stars above us. If this is all designed, then each galaxy could be intentional, each nebula a brushstroke and a masterpiece. We often look at the cosmos and feel small, but in a simulation, even the smallest thought could be meaningful. Every atom could carry purpose. Some versions of this theory suggest we might be part of a grand experiment. Perhaps our creators are observing how intelligent beings evolve, how they love, how they grow. Or maybe this universe is a school, a game, or even a story unfolding for someone else's understanding. We don't know, and that's the beauty of it. The mystery doesn't take away from the stars. It adds a layer beneath them, a hidden depth, like a dream with endless layers, a cosmos within a code where every light in the sky is both real and There's another angle to the simulation hypothesis, one that brings hope. If we are in a simulation, it means the universe has structure, logic, and intention. It suggests that chaos may not be as random as we think. Life then is not an accident. It's part of something larger, designed, or at least observed. That changes how we see time, too. Perhaps death isn't an end, but a log out. Perhaps dreams are moments when we access different parts of the program. Some believe that deja vu, intuition, or sudden inspiration might be tiny glitches, signals from deeper layers of code. These aren't proven ideas, of course, but they invite us to explore, to stay curious, to look at our lives not with fear of what's real or fake, but with wonder at what's possible. In a simulated world, imagination might be the truest form of existence. Now, let's explore the idea of boundaries within simulations. In video games, when you reach the edge of a map, you might find a repeating background or an invisible wall. Could our universe have something similar? Some theorists suggest that phenomena like the cosmic microwave background, the radiation left from the Big Bang, might act as a kind of boundary, a limit to how far we can see. Others speculate that dark energy, the mysterious force accelerating the universe's expansion, could be a mechanism to keep us from reaching the simulation's edge. These ideas sound wild, but they emerge from a simple question. If we're in a simulation, what are its limits? Can we go beyond them? Maybe not with rockets or telescopes, but with thought. Maybe the limits aren't physical, but conceptual. And by thinking differently, by imagining beyond what's observable, we expand not just our understanding of the universe, but of the simulation itself. As we consider the nature of simulated existence, we begin to wonder about the purpose of such a universe. Would it exist simply to observe, or is there meaning embedded within the design? In many spiritual traditions, the universe is seen as a place of learning, growth, and transformation. Strangely, the simulation hypothesis echoes these same themes. If someone or something created this simulated cosmos, maybe they did so to watch beings evolve emotionally, intellectually, and more. Perhaps love, compassion, curiosity, and creativity are not side effects of biology, but goals of the simulation itself. If so, then how we treat each other, how we care for the world might resonate far beyond what we can see. In a way, every choice becomes part of a larger narrative, a signal sent through the code. And in this story, we are not random characters, we are conscious agents shaping the arc of a digital cosmos. To better understand the idea of a simulated universe, we can look at the progress we've made in artificial intelligence. In recent years, AI has begun to learn language, solve problems, and even create art. These systems operate based on code, just like us, if the hypothesis is true. But what makes them different? For now, AI lacks consciousness, or so we believe. It mimics understanding without truly feeling. But if our thoughts and emotions are also the result of complex programming, then maybe the line between us and machines is thinner than we assume. Could it be that advanced simulations generate true consciousness? And if so, what happens when simulated beings like us begin creating our own simulations? We might be part of an infinite chain, simulations inside simulations, stretching endlessly in both directions. Each layer believing it's real, each layer wondering who created the stars above them. There's something deeply poetic in the idea that the universe might be made of code. Not cold, sterile numbers, but elegant instructions shaping the dance of galaxies, the birth of stars, and the rhythm of life. In this view, reality becomes like a great song. Each particle a note, each law of physics a harmony. The code isn't just functional, it's beautiful. Some scientists have even found mathematical structures in nature that resemble computer code. One example is error-correcting codes, patterns that ensure data stays consistent, that appear within string theory equations. It's as if the universe comes with built-in protection against glitches. Like a well-written program, it anticipates problems and adapts. If true, then the universe isn't just alive with energy, it's alive with intention. And maybe, just maybe, behind all of this is not just a creator, but a composer. Someone or something that wrote the music we now call existence. Now imagine looking up at the night sky, seeing the Milky Way stretch across the darkness, and knowing that each star might be a rendered object, a calculated point of light in a vast cosmic simulation. Does that make it any less beautiful? For many, the answer is no. The simulation hypothesis doesn't diminish the majesty of the universe. It enhances it. It adds layers of mystery and meaning. The stars are still ancient, still powerful, still distant, but now they might also be intentional, handcrafted, by something we can't yet comprehend. And that means your place among them is not random. You were written into the story. Your thoughts, your dreams, even your moment of listening right now, they're all part of the code. And if this is a simulation, then you are not alone. Somewhere, something may be watching with wonder as you gaze into the stars and wonder back. In thinking about simulation, one question inevitably arises. Who or what built it? Was it an advanced alien civilization, thousands or millions of years older than ours? Or perhaps a future version of humanity running simulations of their ancestors to learn about the past? These possibilities lead to an idea called ancestor simulation, where beings like us create digital versions of their own history. And if just one civilization does this, even once, it could lead to millions or billions of such simulations. In that case, the odds of us being in the one real world become incredibly small. But who the creators are may not matter as much as the fact that they created at all. Whether they're aliens, posthumans, or something entirely beyond our understanding, their existence suggests intelligence, creativity, and perhaps even care. We may be the result of curiosity or love. And that makes our own desire to understand the cosmos feel deeply connected to theirs. What would happen if we discovered undeniable proof that we live in a simulation? Would people panic? Would society fall apart? Or would nothing change at all? Some believe such a revelation would shake religions, philosophies, and worldviews. Others argue it would simply add a new layer to what we already believe. After all, many spiritual traditions speak of a hidden reality behind the visible one, a world beyond the veil. In some ways, the simulation hypothesis is a modern metaphor for the same ancient idea. that what we see is not all there is. But instead of gods or spirits, the architects are programmers. Instead of divine order, there is computational logic. Still, the result is similar, a designed reality filled with purpose. If we ever do find proof, it might not be in the stars, but in the small things. Patterns, symbols, strange synchronicities, tiny echoes of code left like cosmic fingerprints. There are those who suggest we might already be interacting with the simulation in subtle ways. Some report unexplainable moments, times when reality seems to shift, freeze, or glitch. Sudden changes in memory, strange repetitions, or odd coincidences that defy probability. Are these just tricks of the brain or glimpses of something deeper? The truth is, the brain itself is a kind of biological computer. It interprets input, processes data, and builds a model of the world. If the world is simulated and our brain is decoding it, then reality becomes a shared agreement between the system and the observer. Perhaps we are co-creators of this experience, interpreting the simulation through the lens of consciousness. Maybe what we focus on becomes clearer, more detailed. Maybe the world renders itself more fully when we pay attention. This idea, strange as it sounds, aligns with how virtual environments work. Attention shapes perception. Focus brings the world into form. If this universe is a simulation, it might not be the only one. There could be countless others, some nearly identical to ours, others wildly different. These simulated worlds might vary in laws of physics, time flow, or the nature of consciousness. Some might host intelligent life, others only raw data. It's possible that we are one universe in a multiverse of simulations, each running with unique parameters, each telling its own story. And what if we could one day create our own simulations, entire realities filled with thinking, feeling beings? Would we become gods to them? Would they ever suspect they weren't real? These questions challenge our ethics and imagination, but they also reflect our nature. We dream, we build, we explore. Even if we are simulated, our desire to simulate others reveals something profound. A spark of creation within creation was in the man. A recursive mystery that loops forever through layers of possibility. Some view the simulation hypothesis as cold or mechanical, but that's not the only way to see it. In fact, it can be profoundly hopeful. If our universe was created, it means we are not alone. It means that existence has structure, intention, and maybe even love behind it. Just as artists pour meaning into their work, maybe our creators poured something beautiful into this world. The colors of a sunset, the vastness of space, the mystery of the mind. These might be more than accidents, they might be gifts. And you, listening now, are not random. You are part of a design. Whether created by advanced technology or something beyond understanding, your existence carries weight. You matter. Your choices matter. And your questions, especially the ones that keep you up at night, are what make you truly alive. Perhaps that's the greatest clue of all, that the universe is asking us to ask. So tonight, as you lie back and close your eyes, imagine the stars above you not just as distant suns, but as signals. Imagine the air around you filled with invisible patterns, lines of unseen code gently humming with purpose. Whether or not we live in a simulation, this perspective offers a poetic way to see the world. It turns every moment into a possibility, every experience into a message. You are a traveler through this constructed universe, a participant in a story that stretches beyond galaxies and logic. The simulation hypothesis doesn't give us answers, it opens questions. And in those questions we find meaning. Whether digital or physical, real or rendered, this universe is still yours. Still beautiful, still full of wonder. And maybe that's the true purpose of it all, to invite you to wonder, to make you curious, to guide you softly into the mystery beyond the stars. Thank you for joining us tonight on this journey through simulated stars and coded galaxies. We don't claim to have the answers, but sometimes the questions are more powerful. The idea that we might live in a simulation isn't something to fear, it's something to reflect on. It's a lens, a mirror, a story. Whether this world is real or simulated, what matters is how we live within it. The kindness we show, the curiosity we follow, the dreams we carry into the unknown. If someone somewhere built this world, then they gave us the greatest gift of all, the chance to explore it. And now, as you drift into sleep, let that thought stay with you. that you are part of something vast, intentional, and maybe even sacred. Until next time, dream gently among the stars. This is Night Cosmos. Sleep well, traveler. Good night.